All right, hey everybody, this is episode 27, Just a Gi Top podcast. So today we have a local guy making a big splash on the scene, Darson Hemmings. So Darson is a veteran of ADCC. Just won Euros 2014, 2013 Pans, 2012 Nogi Purple World Champ. So great to have Darson on. Thank you very much for coming on, Darson.
A pleasure.
So our podcast members, you'll notice if you're watching through video, Mr. Rami Chirani still jet setting, not available to come on today. We have in his stead Matthew Patton. So Matthew's another local guy. So thanks, Matthew, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and regular podcast members, as always, Ahmed in the Hood Chirani and Jordan C. Short.
Hello.
Who appears to be having some camera issues.
There seems to be an emergency in-house, but I'm sticking around to do the podcast. We'll see how this plays out. If anybody's epileptic, I apologize.
For those who missed last,
we're gonna need a disclaimer before this episode.
No, sorry. So last week, Rami was flying out to Europe, and he couldn't make it with us for whatever reason. And then he got in late today, so that's why our regular panel member is not there. But Matthew is almost the next best thing. He's about almost the same age, and he's just about as adorable as him. So we're in good hands, man.
Yeah, we still have dimples on the podcast today, so that's
don't you guys worry.
He's been Rami's understudy for like 6 months.
He's just been waiting for the opportunity.
I was waiting for my moment to shine.
Yeah. So,
all right, Jordan?
Okay, we'd like to thank our sponsor, VHTS, Very Hard to Submit. You can check them out at veryhardtosubmit.com. They got some fantastic gis. They have a new Galaxy kimono out right now. You can still buy that. And fight shorts, t-shirts, hats, all kinds of stuff. So
spats.
Spats. Get those
spats. And spats.
Ahmed was actually wearing spats at the tournament yesterday when he was reffing.
No, I was not. Those were just skinny jeans. So just for those of you who don't know, Adam wears if you know Levi's cuts and stuff. He wears 527s, really baggy.
They're 747s.
Yeah, whatever. Baggy jeans, and he doesn't even earn his fades, right? He's it's horrible, and he tucks his t-shirt with the belt, very much a white guy in jeans, But that's
Ahmed's jeans were at least 65% lycra yesterday.
Ahmed actually has a lot of his jeans flown in from Paris. So.
All right. Anyway,
all right. So back to our guest.
Back
to our guest, Darson. So, Darson, thanks again for coming on. Can you talk maybe a bit about your jiu-jitsu journey so far, how you started, and where you are right now?
Oh man, jiu-jitsu journey. It's I gotta go back 7 years into the past. It was really rough at first, and I started off just training like an everyday person, once a day, whatever. But as the time went through, it just started getting more and more hooked. Every detail, every new guard that was invented out of nowhere, the whole rubber guard, and now you have Keenan's pancake guard, just every guard will just make me more and more into the sport kind of thing, and pretty much that's how it started, just learn different guards, from the guards learn different details, from details learning smaller and smaller details that no one else knows, and that's my favorite thing about it, learning things that no one else knows. So yeah, pretty much it.
So that was 6 years ago, Darson?
Yeah, about 6 years ago. I started off doing only no-gi. I was dead set on never putting the gi on. That was my whole goal, is I wanted to be the best playing spider guard without putting the gi on. That was my whole life goal. So somehow I don't know how I was doing it, but I don't know, kind of worked out.
So Darson, you know what? I didn't even know this. Someone told me, and then I googled it and I found it on you. You actually fought MMA once.
Yeah. I fought MMA. And my whole goal was to prove that jiu-jitsu can be used in MMA, kind of like Damian Maia. Yeah. And even then, I wasn't that confident in my guard. But if I was to fight ever again, my goal would be not to throw not even one strike. It would be to pull guard I use the gloves to help me play spider guard. And everyone knows my game. Like I legit want to hit a berimbolo in MMA. So I might play MMA one more time simply to bolo somebody, but that would be it. Like I just want to prove a point that jiu-jitsu can definitely be used in MMA. So yeah, and I was more of like a nogi guy too, so it kind of worked out.
Like, see, you won obviously, and you did very well, and it was good. You dominated really. But so, well, why didn't you do it again? Like, was there, like, was it just to prove a point? Like I don't know. Like, you obviously were passionate about doing it, right? Like, well, why?
Yeah, I was a little bit passionate. I took a lot of boxing privates and stuff. Like, my old gym, it was like my old coach too. He was really into MMA, so I feel like I was being kind of pushed towards it. But everyone who kind of knew me knew I had like a really big passion towards the art of jiu-jitsu and like the creativity of it and just the passion for pure jiu-jitsu. So like I kind of wanted to bring that over to like MMA, but realistically, like my whole life goal was like I knew that I wanted to do like kimono fighting, kimono fighter, I guess. But I just knew if I did it, that it was so difficult. It was so much more advanced, like not advanced, but just so much more grips and more technique to it. I just wasn't prepared for that kind of game. So in my mind, I was like, if I do move forward, because nogi is good, but there's no real application to like make a living. So I knew, okay, if I do kimono, I might not be the best anymore. And if I did MMA, I have a good chance of like using what I already know to good use. So like that was like kind of my crossroad, I guess.
Okay. Can you take us through some of the schools that you've trained in your 6 years? Like, I know you've been jumping around. You've been kind of a creance here and there, right? So,
yeah, I guess like I started off at Extreme Couture. Like I met like a major player there. Like before I began training.
Was it Matthew Patton?
It was definitely Matthew Patton.
Okay, sorry, continue.
Take all the credit.
Matthew Patton there too was really cool, but Michael Imperato, you guys probably heard of him. He's like he's doing really well in MMA as well. Me and him did a lot of MMA training back in the day, but like mainly we did jiu-jitsu to one day become like an MMA fighter. That was pretty much the whole Novo Niao kind of curriculum. They're known for like having smaller weight like MMA fighters. So like we would train jiu-jitsu together, but knowing that one day we both wanted to fight MMA, or we would have to eventually come to that route. But as I got better in jiu-jitsu and learned open guard, I knew that there was like potential for me in the kimono, especially having like guys like Ricardo Amendolia. He would really promote me to do the kimono. He believed in me for some odd reason. He knew I could do good in it. I never really believed in myself at that point, but I started trading it here and there. Like I started moving around different gyms. I went to Ryan Hall's eventually. I did like 2 months down there. And it was pretty much a lot of kimono fighting as well. We did a lot of nogi, but we did a lot of kimono. Apart from that, I didn't really go to much gyms. I taught around at quite a few gyms. Like I taught at Rev MMA. I've taught at I don't know, too many gyms, man. I've taught in Brampton. I've taught in Saga. I just move around teaching a lot of jiu-jitsu like full time. Even before it was Mighty Maiden, I was just teaching, trying to like promote myself and just to continue to always like improve my jiu-jitsu,
And so how did you end up at Open Mat? What led you there?
Well, before I went to Open Mat, actually, I trained with Rob Vicenzo, and through him I realized there was so much more to learn. Like I thought I knew a lot, and Rob Vicenzo kind of like showed me that there is much more to learn. So like I knew once again if I went to Open Mat, they're predominantly gi there. They do a lot more gi training, especially compared to Extreme Couture. So like it was really obvious to me at that point, like not only can I go there to be a potential instructor, and they recognize the talent and wanted to have a competition team, which I wanted to be a part of and to help develop. Not only be a part of it, but I wanted to be on the frontier. I'm always trying to like be a leader. And I feel like that's kind of been my life thing is I've always been in like a leading kind of position where I want to have my opinion matter. So there I felt like they have really intelligent people and they're really into, especially being in the heart of Toronto, which is like key for me. I think Toronto is where, it's everything's central, everything's really like, you just know Toronto's where it's at. So the guys in the GTA outskirts. But, downtown is where it's at and they're really into like building something really big, and I wanted to be a part of it.
No, that's a very good answer. It's funny you mentioned Toronto being a central area. Is that there there's somebody local who thinks that if a competition is outside of Toronto, it's not a real it's not a real representation of jiu-jitsu talent. Well, what are your thoughts on that? Like, should tournaments in Toronto or maybe New York or whatever it is, should they be centralized around big cities so that top guys such as yourself are more, it's more attractive to them to compete there? Because like yourself, you're full time, right? Like I'm assuming you don't need a vehicle in Toronto. You don't have a car or anything, right? So
it's pure Nikes.
yeah, exactly. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, should the competition scene here locally anyway? Like, do you think it should be centralized more around where the talent is, or should it rotate?
It's a hard question. I think both. Like, obviously, everyone deserves to compete, and there's so much hidden talent that hasn't been unlocked yet. Like, everyone has talent, just have to kind of like go and find it. But there definitely is a huge talent pool in Toronto, and people who are serious. Like, I used to live in Brampton. I came all the way down to Etobicoke every day, like 2-hour commute here, 2-hour commute back, paying like double transit just to get my training in. So anyone who's serious will go out and find the more serious like training partners. So you'll definitely find that here in Toronto. I think right now only because just I don't know why it's in Toronto, but that's where it is apparently. So anywhere where it is, I should bring the majority of the competitions to where the main competitors are. But however, it should kind of like spread out, and even the top competitors too. Like, if they're serious, they'll go out now, and I'll be able to go find other guys like myself. That it might only be one guy, but oftentimes I go to tournaments. I tell my teammates, everyone I train with, that you go there not to fight 10 people, but to find that one guy that's just like you, that trains every day just like you.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever you go, you find that one guy, no matter what tournament it is, whether it's like a small local event or the biggest event like the Worlds. There's always that one guy. Maybe at Worlds there's only 2 guys like you. It's pretty like that. There's not a world of guys like that get to train every single day and commit full time to jiu-jitsu.
Nice. Matthew. Now, so we had, like I said, we had Matthew on, and Matthew's a big fan of Darson. Right, he's a big fan, so that's why we brought him on. So we're hoping that Matthew might have a couple questions as well. Like Matthew plays that bolo game. For all of you who don't know, Matthew's like 5'1", maybe 100 pounds. So he's a really small guy. Plays
I must be 5'0" then.
He plays that small man
just
game.
Just a little bit above Darson, so.
Yeah, Matthew, come on, man! Like, this is your chance. There's like 10 people watching. Maybe you should
put him on the spot, on man.
You make me blush here, but I'm just waiting my turn, nicely.
Yeah. Darson, so for anybody who doesn't know you, maybe could you talk a bit about your bid for Grand Slam this year at Brown Belt? Kind of, what gave rise to that, what that entails, maybe for anybody who doesn't know what Grand Slam is, and go from there.
Well, this is my first real gi season. Like last year, like I said, I just joined up at Open Mat last year to train in the gi full time, and since then, like I did the Pan Ams. I cut a lot of weight for the Pan Ams because I was like insecure about myself. I was unsure how I could do on an international level in the gi. I knew in the nogi, like I won the Worlds. I got my trip to ADCC, so I knew I was accomplished in the nogi, and I fought MMA. So like at that point, I was like, man, I really wanted to do something like huge in the gi. So I kind of moved over to like doing my first real gi season. And anyone doing a gi season knows like the main thing is to like hit all 4 major IBJJF tournaments, which is the Europeans, the Pan Ams, the Brasileiro, and then the Worlds. So last year I won the Pan Ams in the gi, but that was like a very low weight class, like rooster weight. I feel like this year I could win it at light feather, and then not only win major tournaments in the gi in the IBJJF league, but to win all 4 major ones would be like a huge accomplishment. Especially like 7 years in, I want to do something like huge that people will remember forever and like put that in history. Especially like I don't think anyone in Canada has ever Grand Slammed. It's been done a few times in America, and we have a few people in Brazil. Obviously, the Meows have done it. Keenan Cornelius got double Grand Slam, and Eric and I, we were both trying to Grand Slam. He's trying to do it at purple, I'm trying to do it at brown. But the ultimate goal is to do it at black belt. So until then, I just got trained for that by Grand Slamming at brown belt. Hopefully it works out. Like, I've been training really hard for it. And I know I put in like more work than I've ever put in for any other tournament.
So what does your training schedule look like? I know that, like, just knowing you, I know that you guys are kind of training all the time, but if you kind of walk people through what that looks like for you.
My training schedule, like, I'm fortunate enough to have like a lot of people come in at odd times and do privates with me. And my privates, like I said, like I don't know, I've listened to Outliers and read Outliers, and I really believe in like outlying opportunities. Like, this is an opportunity for me not only to get paid to do what I love to do, but to learn myself, to get my own training in, to have motivation to wake up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. And not only that, but I actually wake up at 3 in the morning and to begin at 4 in the morning a lot of my training sessions with guys like Matt Patton, you know, the Patton Bros, actually. I don't know if you know about these guys, but they're killing.
Oh, we love the guys. I mean, we know all about them.
Lolling around, you know how it is. Yeah, so I wake up really early in the morning a lot of times to get my training in. And from there, just getting a head start on the whole world. From there, now it's like I do try to train again 2 more times, even 3 more times in a day. Sometimes just training the whole day, like having people come over and just, you know, private after private after private, getting more and more training in. And that way I make money for myself to be able to support what I do. And at the same time, like, I'm actually getting a lot of training in because I'm teaching what I do. I'm teaching my main game. I don't hold anything back. If I learn something new that was like a main move in my life, right away I'll be like telling the whole world, anyone coming to my house, like, learn from me and to help promote like what I do, they'll be on the details right away. And then I love to hear back the feedback because they'll let me know, like, man, I was working it and it definitely changed my game or helped my game. And then I know that I'm on the right track as well because it helped them. And like, I know too, because after I learn it, I try it on like a bunch of different people. I rep it maybe like 1,000 times on everyone that's repping it. So I know for sure if it works. And then from there, once I teach it and having it work for them, then I'm even more secure. Like, okay, this is definitely a golden detail I have to add to my game. And then from there, I just keep trying to preach the words of like jiu-jitsu to everyone, you know. So basically, my training schedule is to wake up at 4 in the morning, get my training in, and then from there, there's a noon class. Open mat has a 7 a.m. class. There's 2 o'clock open mat training time. Then there's our main thing that right now, like, I'm loving it right now, our black belt training at 7:30 till 9:30. And then there's a class after that. So like, there's no holding back. If I'm not there training, I'm here at my bolo base. Like, you probably see behind me, have my mats up on the wall and everything. Got my mats down in the living room, in my bedroom, in the kitchen, in the washroom. Can't stop.
Bathroom bolo.
Bathroom bolo, man.
Man, it sounds like you don't have any shortage of training anyways. How many hours a day would you say you're getting in?
I try for a minimum of like 7 to 8 hours, but like, I really want to put in more hours. Like, I'm always trying to push it to the limit, to the absolute limit, so I go to bed I feel good about myself. Some days are harder than other days, but just like I don't know, everyone around me trains jiu-jitsu. They're all very good. They're all good at what they do. So like, it's not hard for me to train. Like, I just make sure to surround myself with people who are positive, who are always trying to improve their game, who believe in me and who want to like push me to get better. And at the same time, they believe in themselves and they want to get better themselves. So just naturally, we just kind of vibe off each other. And at the same time, like I said, like, I have a lot of privates, so that's like a huge opportunity. Like, I'm so thankful for it to have privates to come in at all times because like I said, like, jiu-jitsu is not an easy life, but to have guys come in and pay me to help train, it's like, man, I get to help them. I teach them everything I know the best I can. Like, I'm so happy to share all my secrets. Like, they're not even secrets. They're, like, man, I'll tell you right now. But
how do I be better? Tell me now.
you must bolo, my friend. Go around the power.
There was this interview I read from you on. You know what? I forget where it was, and I think it's after you won 500. I think there's like I think so. Yeah, I think it's that you won $500. But you said something along the lines of I'm very paraphrasing here. Okay, so I read it a while ago, but it was something along the lines of they asked you, hey, how do you get better? You're surrounded with people who are much worse than you, right? And then you went along the lines and you said you train them to beat you.
Yes.
Can you explain that a little bit? So you train them, so yeah, take us through that.
That's exactly it. Like I said, I don't hold back any of my secrets. Like I teach a lot of classes, but I think I'm best suited to teach private lessons because in that private, I teach exactly how to destroy me. I teach exactly what I don't like, and it's not like what I don't like. It's like a universal game. Like, and the thing is, by going out and competing at the highest level, I get to prove that not only are you beating me, but you're beating everyone else that I beat too. So if you beat me, then potentially like you can have my European title. In that kind of way. So like when I teach, like it's really cool because like I have a bunch of like lower level guys. So I think one of the most important things to do is to drill. Like Andre Galvao says, drills to win. So I don't like to drill one move over and over again repeatedly. I like to do it live. So by having lower level people around me, I can almost drill on them. So as they're rolling me, I'm drilling on them. And then we'll take a break, and I'll tell them exactly what to do to kind of get a little bit better. To tell them, okay, I did this move to you maybe 20 times. Do this, so I can't do it to you anymore. And they'll do that, and then from there, I have a harder time doing that. And so I now have to work on something better, and they have something else that they just improved on. So like maybe I'm leg dragging a lot. I'll say, okay, you have to defend this grip, or you have to break this grip, or you have to do this move, and I go for this move. Whatever it is, there's so much options. Like there's no one right answer. You know, nothing in jiu-jitsu is wrong. That's the beauty of it. It's so creative. So like as I'm giving answers, I'm never saying this is the only move. I'm just giving one potential answer that like I kind of believe in, and I'll never say never do what you don't want to do. Like there's always a million options. You know, it's so infinite out there, like a galaxy. You know, just way too infinite to say there's one right move or one wrong move. So as we do that, we both get better. We both improve.
So it's kind of a combination of drilling and live rolling, like almost at the same time?
Yeah, like as I roll guys like white belt, blue belt, I roll a lot of blue belts that come through here. So as they're rolling me, like I'm just drilling. I'm working one move in particular. I'm thinking heavily, like my brain is just actively going, how can I improve myself? Not just to beat them up, because like what am I going to get from that? There's no benefit from that. So like I always say like my one real secret is I've always had like a good white belt or a good nowadays like I've gotten much better. So everyone around me are like blue belts. So I can say like nowadays I have good blue belts around me. So as a result, like I don't have to try too hard. I don't have to use too much effort. I can drill. I can literally drill all my moves that I've been working on as they're trying to fight me. And the thing is, they don't know I'm drilling. I'm just drilling it without telling them. I'm drilling, and maybe sometimes I will tell them I'm drilling and still try and do it on them to add more difficulty. But for the most part, I'm usually drilling something very specific, very detailed, right down to every grip, the most minute.
So then, Darson, you do see value in rolling with white belts and blue belts? Because I do know somebody in particular that has a problem with rolling with white belts and blue belts. He might even be on the podcast.
Matthew, you have problems with that?
It's different. You have to find there's very specific. Like some white belts is like, man, it's hard to deal with. But you find like the ones around me are usually pretty like their game is similar to mine, but they haven't quite gotten it yet. So like those white belts are lucky. Blue belts are very like blue belt is a perfect belt, I'd say. But white belts, I won't deny them because a lot of my white belts can definitely be blue belts. It's just they're trying to earn it on the podium. So like in that case, you could definitely say they are a blue belt level. It's just on the podium, they haven't quite gotten it yet. They want to get their blue belts on the world's podium or on whatever podium it is they put out for themselves.
It's probably a stupid question, but well, what are your thoughts on competition as part of your growth in jiu-jitsu? Like,
not a stupid question at all, man. Competition is like half the growth because every competition, just gearing up for it, you train harder. Having it always on your mind, it just helps to keep jiu-jitsu like on your mind. Just by thinking about jiu-jitsu, you're getting better. Just having it like not thinking about going out to party or what are you gonna have for dinner that night, whatever. Like all I can think about is the training schedule. Like my next opponent, how am I gonna beat him? Like I go to bed, I'm thinking about it. I wake up, I'm thinking about it. It just doesn't leave my mind. And then not only that, but to go out and to gain the confidence of winning or to get the humblage of losing. You know, both of them are so important. And it'll just help to mold your game and improve your game tenfold. You wouldn't even believe it. Like after winning Europeans, I came back, I thought I could put a black belt on. Like I was like, man, just give me a black belt now. You know, but at the same time I know like from winning so much that you have to take your time. Just put one stripe on the belt and keep on moving forward. Especially with this whole like Grand Slam tour kind of coming up. Like I know for sure maybe after the Grand Slam, I'd be definitely ready to put a black belt on at that point. But if not, like keep my journey going. Take my time. Always take your time. Don't try and go too far ahead of yourself.
You mentioned ADCC earlier this year, and I mean I know like there are no easy matches on that, but you got a particularly tough draw.
Yeah, you got screwed, man.
Do you want to talk about that experience at all? I'm really curious.
It's so painful. Yeah, like I went out to ADCC and it was an amazing time. I got to hang around with like all the top level guys again. Like I've been around them before, so to go around them again and kind of experience the feeling of being around the best of the best at what you do is like that itself is like a good training regimen. Like just to be around them to see how they live their life. And one of my mistakes I think is I went there and I was off. I didn't train for like 3 days because like there was no real like mat space to train in. It was just more like I was kind of relaxed. I was happy to be there, but at the same time, like I've kind of given up on a nogi at that point. Like I haven't trained much nogi at all. Like if you ever see me nowadays, I'm always in my gi top. Not only for this like podcast, but just
sometimes just the gi top.
Man, just the gi top, just the gi top. I'm at the grocery store on the corner in my gi, like I don't even care. Come back, ready to train again, and yeah, it's just like I don't know. So I didn't really do much nogi. I was trying to hope that my gi training would kind of shift over to nogi, and it did. But at the same time, like you can't overestimate like not training for like something specific. I mean, always gonna be very specific, very detailed in what you do, and that's kind of what I learned. Like I've had a couple of hard losses recently, especially to like just recently, like maybe a year ago, I fought Matt Bagshaw for like it was like a women's only like
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Thing. It was supporting breast cancer and everything. It was a really good event, and I was like, I'll just jump in there and get a match with him to show that I could berimbolo in a nogi. That was my whole goal. But during that time, I never once trained nogi. I never really put effort into it. My goal was to go there and simply do what I do in the gi, in nogi like I used to. And it just did not work out at all. I ended up getting really injured, like really badly. At that point, I realized, no, you can't do that for nogi. And then still, I didn't make a change for ADCC. Like I kept training gi only. Like I was training for other gi tournaments. And I was like, okay, at this point, I knew for sure I was mainly about the gi training and about hitting the Grand Slam tour. I didn't really like. I don't want to say I didn't care about going to ADCC, but like I was just happy to be a part of the event. I knew like man, looking at Cobrinha and like Mendez and like all those high level guys, I didn't really have the best chance. But at the same time, like I'm a guy who believes when you put in hard work, it'll come back to you. But I just know like right now, especially like being a kind of I would say I'm a grip artist. I love gripping. So like to do nogi, it just wasn't my thing. Like I used to like my game was about playing like I think it was Matt Patton who made a meme about who plays like spider guard and nogi. That was like my thing. But now I could play real spider guard. There's like real sleeve grips. But it's hard to go back to the fake thing. It's like it isn't the same. It's not as fun. So I never really trained for it. But I was just happy to go there. I was hoping to get a good match where I could like do a good performance and everything. But I didn't. Like it just showed like I didn't train for it, and it came out in video. I just got killed.
Yeah, like what were you thinking when you saw Cobrinha first round? Like, well, what did you say to yourself?
Man, I was pretty confident. I was like, I'm gonna beat this old man. By the time he took his shirt off, he looked younger than me.
Crazy shit. Like,
it was a really humbling experience. Like after. Like, I was really upset about it, but then I remember seeing him in the hotel that night, too. Or I think the night after, I saw him in the hotel before we left, and, like, I shook his hand and, told him we talked really quick about, he was saying, like, keep believing in yourself and keep training hard and achieving your goals. He gave me some really, like, motivating words, and I was so inspired by it. I was really happy to have him, like, talk to me and kind of, keep me inspired, keep me motivated about the sport and want to go further, not just quit, but to keep moving forward.
Is there anyone you were looking to face with that? Like, you look at the list and you see Cobrinha, Mendez, and Well, like, is there anyone you're gunning for?
I don't want to be mean, but I was looking to fight for my first match. Especially like it's her first match. You want to get like a warm up. I was looking for what's his name? Vieira. Not Leo Vieira, but his brother.
Ricardo?
Yeah, Ricardo Vieira. Because I know he's an old schooler kind of guy, like, you know what I mean? And he's not as, like, active in the sport right now. He's teaching a lot. He's a great guy. But I knew that could be a match that I could potentially, like, get warmed up on. Especially 'cause I didn't train for like 3 days. Even in the warm up area, I didn't do any warm ups at all. Like I was just kind of stretching. I wish I had like gotten someone's hand and like asked them to roll me for a little bit to loosen up to kind of remember my game plan. Because I went out there and like I don't know, I played a certain kind of game. I played the gi, and it just was not appropriate for nogi. Cobrinha just like stack pass right away went to my back, and I defended for like 3-4 minutes just defending.
Yeah, you did all right.
When you put that squeeze on me, man, holy, like my jaw hurt for a good 2 weeks after. My teeth got shifted.
Yeah, he's strong. He's pretty strong.
It was, man, yeah. But at the same time, I was really humbled because it just showed like the level of the top level, what it takes. I got to feel it live, not only in the room, but like him in his first match where he knew like he can't lose. You know what I mean? So he went 110% on me. So I got to feel that pressure was like, man, invaluable. Like, tell you.
That's awesome. No, if we can go back to some of your matches, I've seen. Okay, so I know you compete internationally and you do very well, but I've seen you lose a couple matches locally that I'm like, why is he losing here? But then you excel internationally, which is quite the opposite. Most people do really well locally, and they win here and there, and then they tank internationally. You're the opposite. Why is that?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm exact.
I'm not saying you tank. Hold on, I'm sorry. I don't mean you tank locally because you don't.
I've had some good winning streaks locally.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, but there's a couple guys I've seen you lose to that I'm like, there's no way you should have lost to, and I'm just
I don't know why it is. Like I just kind of made the transition to gi. So if I lost in the gi recently, I could definitely say it's to like I said, when I did win in the gi last year, I cut a lot of weight, so I was definitely the bigger guy. So like now, like I don't know, if I lost recently in the gi, I'd say it's to that. But no gi as well. Like I said, like I haven't really been training much no gi at all. Like I lost all I won't say I lost respect for it. It's just not my favorite right now. Like I still have a lot of knowledge on it. I've made it very far in no gi compared to most people. So like as far as knowledge goes, I know what I'm looking to do. But it's just the passion for it is not the same as the gi. So like to lose locally, and it's harder too. Like the pressure is on because people know who I am. They're waiting for me to do something really crazy, and like it's never easy. Like nothing's guaranteed. But I think I've definitely like made some huge like waves in terms of like progression. Always trying to find more control.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, the ones that you've lost has been like ref decision and or an advantage, or it's not like a blowout or nothing. But do you have a specific mentality that you switch to when you go to like the Worlds or Pan Ams? Is it a completely different ball game? Like
like, I would say I train harder for them. Like I know like I'm investing money and sponsors and stuff like that. So like I have to make sure I bring my A game. But locally too, like I don't know. I remember losing recently. In the absolute in the gi, and I feel like when I lost it was because like again I was just lack of knowledge in the gi, and since then like I think I'm always improving. Like I had so much natural no gi talent that I transferred over to gi, so people thought I was doing really well. But in my own opinion, in my like I hold a high I hold the bar really high for myself. So like I thought I was nowhere near that, and even now as I'm getting closer to that bar. Like the bar will only get raised up even higher again, So like never really like nearing that bar, but always improving myself for sure. So like
it's funny.
Last loss, I would say I'd improved like tenfold in terms of control.
It's funny that you mentioned like the pressure competing locally and stuff, because I know Alessandro actually mentioned too, like competing locally, he feels like guys, like he's got a target on him, and like guys are looking for that feather in their cap because they know like they're like the high level guys in the area and they really want that win bad.
Yeah, well, it's really hard too. Like sometimes, like I don't want to really like go to ref corruption. Like it's hard to say, but like I believe like refs, like the Mendes bros too were saying like refs should come from like an unknown place. Like to have refs that train at certain gyms, it's really hard. And as like a local talent. You don't want to see your gym like fall as another gym rises. So like like I want to bring it to ref corruption, but for other people that might be, you know, something that happens too. And at the same time, like I said, like I've improved so much in terms of control. I believe through control you could defeat all ref corruption. Through control you could beat all odds, because when you control the fight, you literally control the fight. You know what I mean? People are trying to always attack, or some people are defending, some people are countering. I believe in controlling. So much to a point where, like, right now, I'm actually writing an ebook and making a DVD set about what I call BJJ. Well, actually, I'm calling it chess, boxing, and BJJ. And it's just basically about gripping and not being gripped, controlling the whole fight. Literally about control. CTRL, control. And through control, like, everything else will just follow. You'll win every match. You'll never be nervous. You'll be in control the whole time. Whether you win or lose, you know why you lost, right? And even then, you shouldn't be losing with control.
That's pretty. Some good words there. That's awesome. You know, geez, I had one question. It was really, really good too. It was a good one. It was like no.
Well,
it was like you know what? You guys went. I'm gonna think.
Ahmed has an insider perspective. Ahmed also has an insider perspective on this ref.
Oh no!
Yeah.
On what? Sorry,
about 75% of the refs come from Ahmed and Jordan. That's how this
yeah, it's just muted for a sec there.
What was that?
That was Matthew and his potato he's using as a computer.
His spaceship was taking off there for a sec.
Oh no. The one question I had. Oh jeez, man. It was so good too. Like, oh no, here it is.
Let's talk about ref corruption, Ahmed.
No, okay, we'll go to ref corruption, but hold on. I just want to talk to Darson about something really quick. Darson competed against Gianni Grippo at 5 grappling last year, May or June or something. You lost a really close match. It was one advantage. You know what? Whatever. You guys are like, I'd consider you guys about the same level. You guys similar games, smaller guys, Bolo, etc., etc. But now what we're seeing with Gianni, and I'm wondering if it will happen with you. Okay, Gianni obviously got his black belt not too long ago. His game is basically De La Riva, reverse De La Riva, Berimbolo, much like yourself. And now he's stuck in this weird position now where he's facing the Mendes bro, Rafael Mendes, for example, and like he's getting beaten by guys who created that game. Do you know what I mean? So like, yeah. How do you plan to face that when the moment comes? You're probably maybe a year away from your black belt, maybe less. Now, how are you going to take your game, which is essentially from the grandfathers who made it? Like, am I wrong in saying the Mendes Bros created the bolo? Like, I know Seth. There's a guy named Seth or something that created the bolo, but
reinvented it. I think everyone is reinventing it, but they did a lot of they added a lot of pages to the book.
Okay.
They may not have made the book, but they added a bunch of pages to the book for sure.
So yeah. So my question is, long story short, how do you plan to beat them at their own game? You know, like.
Well, it's cool that you say that because, like I said, like I have this book I'm doing, you know, and in this book I'm pretty much preaching like I'm not really like I know De La Riva, I know reverse De La Riva, all that kind of game, but you'd be amazed I'm not really playing too much of that. My game right now revolves on a game that cannot be beat as long as you apply it, and it's controlling your opponents, controlling the hands. When you like Kyle Terry had a saying like, you know, through self-defense. Like, he's believed strongly in wrist control, and he's a black belt world champion, and he believes in a wrist control. And, like, as I watch Gianni, like, nothing against Gianni, but I don't see much wrist control from him. When you watch the Meows, they're all about controlling the hands. Even more so, like, nowadays when you watch them, they don't really grab the ankle and berimbolo. They're more like playing collar and sleeve and berimboloing, or they're playing dual sleeve and they're berimboloing. So, like, through my game, it's about gripping and not being gripped. So if I'm gripping your hands and you're not gripping and holding me, I'm able to maneuver and play my game more freely. So like my game right now is definitely evolving beyond that. And I don't want to say I'm evolving beyond Gianni, but I'm evolving beyond myself. And I think through like by continuing to like evolve past who I was before, I'll only continue to be successful, especially at the international level. Like that's actually what got me through my Europeans. Sure, I'm hitting berimbolos, but I'd say to you right now that no one could even grip me for more than 10 seconds. No one was able to hold on to me. No one could hold me down. If you watch Paulo Miao versus Mendes, at Europeans, him because he gripped him and he did not let go. If you look, he was holding his belt the whole time, had pure hip control, and Meow couldn't break his grip. So in my book, that's like breaking the first rule: to grip and not be gripped. So look out for that book. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no,
It'll be a good read, my friend. It'll be a good read. I assure you. I'm working hard on it.
What are your thoughts on absolutes? I know, like, maybe back Pan Am's nogi. I remember, you go in there, you win gold, you wait, and then silver absolute is pretty impressive. But what are your thoughts now, especially like when your Pan Am's coming up, trying to Grand Slam?
That's actually a really good question. I've been like heavily debating on. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do 151 or 141. I was saying if I was confident in myself to win the absolute, I would do 151. But I think I want to make sure to secure, like especially as my first ski season, I want to make sure to secure my spot at 141 and almost guarantee my win. Nothing life's guaranteed, but I do still want to make sure to go up and do the open weight class. I think last tournament I was really injured after. My shoulder I had like a really bad shoulder injury and I was super injured. And as well, my quarterfinal, my semifinal match, this guy was trying to do like flying arm bars and all types of stuff on me. And while he was doing that, he like kneed me, this little like meat tank, just kneed me in the rib really bad. So my rib was really bruised and my shoulder was really badly injured. So I literally didn't have the power and energy to continue on. But I actually did register for open weight class. I even walked out into the bullpen to go take a look. But I was really happy I didn't because when I came back home, I was super, like, I felt the injury more and more as time went by. I took a couple of days off. I made sure to, like, go see a doctor and stuff, get it looked on, checked up on, to, like, just, make sure my Ferrari's, like, in tip-top shape, I guess. I fuel the Ferrari, take care of
Hashtag fuel the Ferrari.
Pardon?
Hashtag fuel the Ferrari.
You know it.
I've seen that many times.
So that kind of leads into a bit of a question. That was a good question, Matt. That kind of leads into a question that was actually just posted on our YouTube channel by Jiu-Jitsu Vault, which is, I think we can throw it up on the screen here. How do you not get injured rolling several times every day? So maybe you could just talk about that.
Well, like again, I'll go right back to it. The most precious assets you have are your blue belts. And especially because these guys are all around my weight class, and a lot of them are actually smaller than me too, so even better. At that point, I don't have to worry about size. Like I said, I'm drilling a lot, so the chance of injury is less. Then when I do get my couple of hard rolls in the day, like I do roll like really tough guys, especially like Eric Fan, man, then I could have a good chance of getting injured. That's the truth. But in the regular, like when I roll guys like hashtag Bashir all day, I have my girlfriend Vicky Hong. I train with her all day. Matt Pat comes in. He's a 4 a.m.er, Breakfast Club jiu-jitsu guy. So when we're doing work, like they're smaller than me, so if the chance is decreased, I'm drilling a lot on them. Not really rolling, but drilling specific. So the chance of getting injured again is a lot less, and they're smaller. So like. It's just the chance is decreased, But like I said, there's always a chance of getting injured. Never guaranteed. I'm just gonna like take the risk. And also I eat healthy. Like I have C12 sponsoring me, and like having that, like they're pretty much, it's for like refueling. After I train, to refuel, to like fuel my body up with all the nutrition I need to help to prevent injuries, to be able to come back the next day feeling like 100%.
So what you mentioned C12. So what kind of supplements do you take normally?
Oh, too many. Like I have a lot of vitamins and minerals. C12 is definitely a key factor. BCAAs, glutamine. My favorite is like I take fish oil and glucosamine for my joints. Pretty much, yeah, I drink a lot of water, about 4 liters a day, to keep my body just liquefied and always like tip-top shape. And especially now, like I'll be honest, I do eat some junk food. Like I'll go off a lot of times and not eat very healthy. And when I do, every time I realize, I learn. Like the more I punish myself, I realize, like man, it's not helping to fuel the Ferrari. Like because of that, maybe I miss a training schedule. I skip a training schedule because I ate bad, or like maybe I don't like replenish my body as well because I ate bad. So like nowadays, especially now, coming closer to competition, makes me way more conscious of like eating healthier and all that kind of good stuff. So taking your vitamins and minerals and any kind of supplement you can take to just help prevent injuries is key.
You mentioned diet. You seem to eat a lot of pho though. So like,
pho is good for you.
Is it really? Isn't it like a?
When I go to her house, her mom makes the best pho ever.
Okay, but so where I was getting at is that, for example, Calterra, maybe he's lying or not. I don't know if it's lying or not, but he says he eats nothing but candy, like almost all day, every day, and he trains hard and he's a world champion.
I caught him. Like I don't know if I could believe him or not, but like I caught him at a grocery store next to my hotel at Europeans, and the first thing he had in his hand was like just a bunch of candy. I was like, you can't be serious, bro. You actually eat this crap during Europeans too. Like, get ready for competition. This guy legit is eating candy. It must be true. Like, he had nothing but candy in his hand, trying to like go to the cashier. So,
Jeez, he must just be a phenom. I don't know. That's strange. Oh shit, Adam, do we have another? We have another YouTube.
No,
question?
it's not showing up.
Oh no.
Yeah. But there is a YouTube question. I just can't show it on the screen. But the question is, does Matthew remind you of Chris O'Donnell?
I get that a lot.
Oh, actually, wait. Here it is. Here it is, right here. And it's from Ahmed Sharani. So.
Yeah, no, I mean,
It's not the first time I've heard that.
He's a first-time listener, first-time caller, long-time listener.
No, man, seriously, the resemblance is uncanny. Like sometimes I don't talking to him.
Chris O'Donnell.
Sometimes when I'm talking to him in real life, I find myself staring. I'm like, this is Chris O'Donnell. Like, you know what I mean? But not in like a way, like an attracting way. But like,
not exactly in that type of way.
Yeah, like in a starstruck way. But Darson, really quick. I noticed you're wearing Shoya roll kimono there.
He does look like Chris O'Donnell.
Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
See, like now you can't stop looking at him, right? Like it's him.
I get more of like a Jesse Pinkman vibe.
I don't know. When he's being bold, he looks pretty weird. I don't know. His face, I look at him, he's just like, ah.
I can't see my face from my back, so.
Darson, really quick about so you're wearing a Shoya roll kimono there, and 2 episodes ago we had Travis Stevens on, who gave us like some insight on sponsorships, and some of the crazy sponsorships he's got going on is insane. Now, mind you, he's a judo Olympian, so it's a little different, but. Can you go into specifics as to what's showing? What? What's so funny? Fair enough. Okay. So, yeah, that's you, man. That's you. So,
sorry.
okay,
Sorry,
audio people who are listening, Adam just put up a picture of a very hunky Chris O'Donnell. So that's what sent us all astray. But anyway, Darson, about Shoya roll and your sponsorship, can you go into details as to what they provide you? If you can, great. If not, then we'll just speculate.
Detail in my contract, but they do send me a lot of gis. So okay. That's the first step. I got like me training like maybe like 4 times a day. I need as much gis as I can. Otherwise, like I do wear spats under my gi pants to keep my gis dry. I do wear rash guards under my gi top to keep my gi top dry. But they do send me a lot of gis. Like when I go down there, I might get like 4 gis. I think I get like 12 gis per year, not including competition. And just like, they take good care of me for like the major tournaments and stuff like that. But I can't go into deep detail. It's obviously like my contract and stuff like that. But they take good care of me. I definitely would like do them. I actually just signed up with them again for 2 more years. So I'm just, it's obviously a good contract.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, that was one of my questions. Is that like, is it a contract? Is there like a stipulation where if you, let's say, lose all year now, I don't want to jinx you, but let's say you do. Like, can they get rid of you? Is it like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, can you specify that or no?
Not really. Like, I guess if I lost all year, like, I wouldn't even, like, I don't know. I would be ashamed to wear their gi after that.
All right, no problem.
But they would, I guess, like, I don't know. Bear is a very good guy. He's a very generous guy. And like after getting to meet him like personally in the office and at different like local events or international events, Like I just know he has a good heart, and he's definitely looking out for like not only his company but his fighters as well. Always promoting like to do better and to kind of push yourself. Be first, no less. Like I'm a huge believer of that, and like if I continue to win, I'll definitely like try get above and to improve my position in the company, I guess. But for now, I have a pretty good sponsorship. They take really good care of me. And compared to most, like I've seen quite a few like packages. Like I've been like looking around for sponsors too. Like obviously as a fighter, but they definitely take good care of me. And like it's fine quality kimonos. Like can't really ask for much better.
Hey, Darson, can you talk some sense into Ahmed? He has always given me a hard time for wearing a rash guard underneath my gi. And like a lot of people do. I know like Ahmed loves to like show off his chest and stuff. He's got that Lebanese chest. But
he likes to show off his rib cage.
Yeah, like you need to talk some sense into him.
It's key, man. I don't actually wear spats, but I wear shorts under my gi pants all the time because I train so much. I need to keep at least the crotch area dry. The legs might get a little moist, but like I'll reuse that gi over and over to try to train all my training in comfortably and not feel that wet feeling, So then like, but at the same time, like I might bring like 4 or 5 rash guards, so that way I can like train and just change my rash guard again, put a dry rash guard on, so I don't feel the wet gi. Maybe my opponent might feel the wet gi, but I don't feel it as much. And I'm happy, and they're not happy, and I don't care.
Yeah, that's a good point. But Jordan, I don't train 7 hours a day. I train maybe 7 hours a week. So like I don't need that rash guard underneath me. You know what I mean? Like
I disagree. I think that Ahmed needs the rash guard. He could probably even double up on the rash guard.
Okay. Anyway, Darson, really, okay, really quick, Darson, how old are you, man? Like, no one even knows how old you are.
It's a mystery. You can't find this information on the internet.
Yeah, you can't find it. Like,
that's actually a good question. I never had that question yet. How old am I? I'm 24.
Yeah. You're 24. Okay.
Born 89 September. Virgo lifestyle.
Oh, okay, no, that's good. So where I'm getting with that is, you're gonna get a black belt probably by, let's say, 25. I'm just guessing. Let's say 25.
I'm gonna get my black belt. My goal is to get my black belt this year on the world's podium after I Grand Slam.
Okay, all right, that's optimistic. It's amazing. So you're gonna be competing as a black belt for like about in the adult division. You know where I'm going with this. In the adult division for probably 4 years, 5 years, whatever, until you're 30. What are your plans when you hit 30? What's that?
Cobrinha set the bar now.
Yeah, he's like 34 or something.
35 and still be a champion, minimum.
Okay. So what I'm getting is that you're going to continue with the adult division?
For sure.
Absolutely. So
if you do it, I have no excuse, man.
Yeah. So like, what are your thoughts on Masters in general?
Nothing wrong with it for sure. Go and compete and always push yourself, always challenge yourself. But like I said, like it's really interesting too. Like again, I go back to my book. With this book, I believe with this perfect technique, with these details, that it's almost an effortless win. With control, I don't need to be able to invert. I don't need to be able to berimbolo. Like this book has nothing to do with berimboloing. It's about controlling your opponent. And through simple control tactics, I might only beat you by an advantage. I might only beat you by the ref decision because the ref is judging you by how much you're controlling. So if I have you in close guard attempting chokes the whole time and you're just sitting there hanging out, like obviously the ref decision will go to me. But without doing that, there's more in that way. Like that's just the obvious route. Through real control, through sleeve control, through maneuvering, through like all the tactics of like I believe in this book, I should be able to be champion beyond Cobrinha's lifestyle because jiu-jitsu is only evolving. It's only getting better. So if Cobrinha could be 35 and be a champion at this age, if it's actually getting better and more technical, then maybe I could be 38 and still be a champion.
It's awesome. It's awesome. The grip thing's very interesting.
Grip and don't be gripped.
I like that. I'm gonna do that.
It's like
watch out, guys.
And that's what I love too. Ryan Hall really brought me onto it, the whole like boxing and jiu-jitsu thing. Like he was like really comparing the two together, like white on rice. Like he would just everything would go back to boxing. So when I came back, I had that mindset, and like even today, it's still like I haven't talked to Ryan Hall in a long time, but it's always been dwelling on me. Right to a point where I say like, okay, there's stick and move. I say grip and move. They say hit and don't be hit. I say grip and don't be gripped. Right? Circular motion, maneuvering, like everything goes right back to boxing, the sweet science. So like I'm bringing that right down to jiu-jitsu for everyone to understand, and like eventually my goal is to help to run a school of myself and to help to help white belts achieve the black belt in a much shorter period of time through these simple concepts, and to help to make more world champions, and for myself to be a champion even at a late age of like 38, 39. Because Cobrina's doing it at 35, so no excuse.
Nice.
All right. We do have one other fan question here I'll throw up. So it's from Arwin, and he says, Darson, playing a lot of berimbolo also exposes your feet a lot. How do you prevent or endure footlocks, especially in brown belt, or toe holds and knee bars, or do you just endure it?
Yeah, how do you guys do that crap, man? Your feet are all over the place. That's a good question.
Man, both my feet have been broken time and time again. Like I've been limping like too much times, man. I have crutches. I have it all. I'm ready for another broken foot. But however, like as I get better, I realize that if I'm playing guard and I want to get 2 points, when he goes for a leg lock, he has to do what? He has to sit back to finish it. So when you sit back, that's my time to either get on top and counter it, or to circle around you. As you're trying to like go for my leg, it's my chance. Like your hip has to go down to the mat to finish your leg lock. A toe hold you can do from standing, but a traditional ankle lock is what you're pretty much vulnerable to, the ankle lock. So as you're going for the ankle lock, I can now use that as opportunity to get on top for 2 points, or if you know the berimbolo, I could use it to circle around you to get to your back. And at the same time, like as I'm working on my back take, I believe like maneuvering to your back is higher percentage than forcing the guy to tap out to a submission. So like it's pretty much me. It's me battling your submission, me maneuvering to good position, and that good position will outweigh your leg lock attempt. Like a lot of times the Europeans guys are going for my legs, but because I would right away move to good position because of their leg lock attempt, I would be in the position was too strong for their leg lock to be effective. You get it?
Understood.
Like position before submission is what I'm trying to say. So if you're not in good position, sure, I'm going for a berimbolo, but the moment you go for your leg lock, or maybe midway, and even worse, if I'm midway into my berimbolo and you begin to leg lock me, basically what's going to happen is I can quickly get to a good position. Like there's so much options for me to get to your back, to side control, to maybe just simply getting on top of you, and that position will kill your leg lock attempt. If I don't respect and acknowledge your leg lock, then maybe I'm in trouble. But because I play a lot of leg locks myself, and I respect and acknowledge them all, I'll definitely be I'm way ahead of the schedule.
Awesome. All right, we don't have a sponsor of the week this week, but what we do have is a special shout out challenge throwdown. And from an unknown newcomer. So if that person could please reveal themselves.
So I call out Matthew Patton.
What the hell?
Only fight either on the Map Militia or Grappling Industries, Tokyo Tiger, and Ahmed Trani's 508 pants.
What the hell happened? How did that even happen? What the hell?
Matt is being called out.
Ahmed mind is blown.
Okay, no, did you guys all know about this? What the hell's going on?
I had no idea. I don't know where he came from.
I don't even know.
Okay, Darson, where are you?
Idea.
Like, are you even? Is that your home?
What happened?
Okay, all right, hold on. Okay, so Matthew Patton is our guest guy. The guy in the bathrobe that just popped in, that's his brother, Brent Patton, and he's at Darson's house. What?
Well, he's talking me, hanging out there.
Is he getting a private lesson right now, or?
He's gonna need it.
This is
The
awesome.
shirt under the gi is a nice touch. It's a rash guard.
Wow, all right. I didn't know. This is amazing. We got both patent bros on. So anybody who doesn't know, these guys have accomplished nothing in jiu-jitsu. like anything. They're very average guys. And they're blue belts and all that, but they're average guys. And they're on with us right now. This is
Is Brent wearing a button-up shirt under his gi?
This fight needs to happen. Where's the Mat Militia? Where is the Mat Militia?
Yeah.
No pressure, Chris. Go to the Mat Militia page and get on that. Get that fight happening.
Like that page ASAP.
Yeah, Battle of the Brothers.
Happen.
I want to see it, though. I want to see it. I personally think I've rolled with both these guys numerous times. I honestly think Matthew takes it. I don't know. That's just me, but I think he takes it.
That's disgusting.
I know.
Hey, man, I put money on Matt Patton, too.
That rooster weights.
This is great. Okay. Well, thanks for popping in, Brent. Seriously, Brent, a serious question. What the fuck are you doing there? Like, what are you doing there?
Darson lives down the street from me, so I was going to call Matthew on the podcast anyways. But since he's on, it worked out even better. You can see him, like, he's nervous. Look at him.
Nobody will fight this man.
Nobody will.
Look at the Muppet he has in the background hanging there.
Yeah, I did notice that. There is like a green, appears to be Matthew's bath towel hanging on the door.
That's my son's kimono.
Well, this has gone downhill very quickly, actually.
Okay. Hey, Darson, I don't know if I can take it seriously now, but if you want to give a shout out to any of your sponsors, now's the time to do it, man. Please do so.
I would love to give a shout out really quick to C12, hooking me up with like the good nutrition. Special shout out to Barry Quintaga, hooking me up with that Shoyo sponsorship, keep me fresh at all times and keep me looking professional on the international stage. Open Mat, Mixed Martial Arts, 593 Yonge Street, Toronto. You know where we're at, right downtown. Building up like every second, every day. We're getting new memberships coming in. We're building up a huge army of guys, so don't miss out, guys. Get in there ASAP Rocky, training me, Eric, Vicky Hahn. We have huge female team going up too. Kids coming up, so don't miss out. Big things coming up from us.
Also, I just want to do a special shout out to one of our fans. He won gold in Ascension white belt. Rahib Hussein, where you at? I see you. I know you're watching. I'm trying to be as cool as you, Darson, with the shout out. I'm like, I see you. We can't stop. We won't stop. Can't stop the fire. But yeah, so.
We won't stop.
Yeah, there you go. Let's all sing. So there you go. Shout out to you. And yeah, that's it, man. Thanks, Darson, for coming on. This was, you know what, Darson? I honestly thought, when before this, I thought you were kind of an arrogant guy. I'll be honest with you. I thought you were. Yeah, I did. I've had kind of, like a bad vibe, I thought, and I don't now. I enjoy it. This is great. So I'm glad. I hope anybody else out there who feels the same way has changed their mind now. So yeah.
When I see you, I'm gonna arrogant bolo you.
Oh yeah, no, you know what? You'll easily do that. So anytime, man. But yeah, so thanks again, man. Thank you very much.
No problem. It was a pleasure. Appreciate it.
All right, so I think that's a wrap for episode 27 of Just the Gi Talk podcast. Thank you to Rami Chirani's understudy, Matthew Patton, for coming in short notice.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you very much, obviously, to Darson for being the guest this week. And yeah, that's a wrap for episode 27. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.